Hey everyone, NoModMaster here. Next on the list at number 23 is Red Rocket Truck Stop. Red Rocket Truck Stop has an area rank of 33 and a height limit of 10 floors. What's great about Red Rocket Truck Stop is its proximity to Sanctuary. Out of all the settlements in the game, Sanctuary and Red Rocket have the closest proximities to one another. Upon arriving at Red Rocket, you'll immediately be greeted by dog meat. Red Rocket Truck Stop is one of the few settlements in the game that comes with its own companion. And what's great about dog meat and the workbench here is that it does not require any quests to unlock them. So this is just a great settlement to have in your early game. You can also acquire Codsworth as a companion back in Sanctuary, but I'm sure most people choose dog meat. So let's go inside and take a look at that workbench. And I'm sure most of you notice as we're walking in here, there's also a power armor station at the back of the garage. Open the workshop's inventory to gain access to the settlement. And then keep in mind, guys, you can take a lot of the resources out of this workbench, take them over to Sanctuary or vice versa to help you build some stuff early on for settlement building. There's also a weapons workbench in there, a cooking station out here, and an armor station over there. And then right around the corner over here, there's a chemistry station. And then once again, guys, all of this junk out here, you can scrap all this stuff that gives you lots of resources in your early game, which is very useful for building some of your first settlements. Some of the things you can't scrap are these hoses hanging down from the ceiling in here. These are unfortunately something you're going to have to build around. They're not too terrible. It's one of the few things in the settlement that you can't scrap. Let's go take a walk around and look at the perimeter of the settlement so we can get a better idea of how big the settlement actually is. I'm sure a lot of players don't build beyond these bushes too often, but if you delete all these trees and all this junk, you can make Red Rocket feel a lot bigger than it really is, just by utilizing a couple extra feet along the edges. Now this part of the settlement's kind of weird. As you can see, the edge there, it's not really a perfect square here at Red Rocket. It's kind of an odd shape. Down here in this corner of the settlement, though, is very unique because this is actually right next to the entrance to the mole rat cave. So when you first come across the settlement, there's a chance you might come across a bunch of mole rats spawning and attacking you in dog meat. This is supposedly their home. When you go inside of that cave, there's going to be a bunch of mole rats inside, so be ready if you're a lower level player because you're going to have to kill a lot of mole rats when you go in there and clear it out. Let's go down here and take a look at this corner of the settlement. This corner is kind of unique because it allows you to build like a turret up here until you build something bigger like a wall. And then you can kind of see Sanctuary from here. And what's cool is when you're in Sanctuary, you can also see Red Rocket. If you're lucky, sometimes you can catch Trash Can Carlo walking by on the road. And then up over here, the settlement kind of jets out onto the road a little bit. And then this pretty much brings us back to where we started. What's cool is that if you wanted, you could try to build like a gate or something here so that it forces people to possibly go through the settlement in order to use the road. And then let's go inside. Let's take a better look at some of the rooms that come with the settlement inside the gas station. In total, there's actually 3 entrances to the gas station. So the first room here is the garage room, which is cool because the door still works, so you can reutilize that into something else, but I actually like keeping it as a garage. And then over here we have the back room with the terminal, and that terminal basically tells you about the mole rat cave. Up here there's these little tables you can see inside the room to the left, next to that water machine. Those little tables can't be scrapped, but they're pretty cool, so I don't really mind them. This area over here by the Nuka-Cola vending machine is actually pretty nice and flat, and you can build a lot of structures here once you delete some of that stuff and that big red truck. But let's go up onto the roof and take a look at this area. So this is also another spot that a lot of people probably build. It's nice and flat, it's a big open area. And then up here by the rocket, it's more slanted, it's a little bit more difficult to build up here. But if you come up here, you can see there's actually a pretty nice view of the area around Red Rocket. And that pretty much concludes my video for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.